The room doesn't feel the same anymore. It's no longer quiet. It's unstable. Chapter 35 marks the exact moment when trust officially dies. After days of paranoia building beneath the surface, confrontation explodes into something irreversible. No one is pretending anymore. Everyone knows the group is fractured. Shiho tries to restore order, but logic cannot survive inside a room filled with fear. The more she pushes for clarity, the more divided the group becomes. Shibe finally cracks. His fear turns aggressive. His defensiveness becomes obvious. And in a game built on psychological pressure, emotional reactions are the loudest confessions. Tenji watches carefully. He realizes something chilling. The game has stopped interfering because it doesn't need to. The players are creating more damage than any rule ever could. Yutori remains disturbingly calm. While others panic, she adapts. She positions herself where no direct blame can stick. In chaos, neutrality becomes protection. And then there's Yuuichi. For most of the conflict, he stays silent, watching, calculating, measuring who is losing control. And then he speaks, not to defend, not to accuse, but to redirect. With a few carefully chosen words, he shifts the emotional storm into structured suspicion. He reframes the arguments so that the chaos benefits him. That's the terrifying part. Yuuichi isn't stopping the collapse. He's guiding it. Chapter 35 reveals a brutal truth. In a room full of panic, the calmest person becomes the most dangerous. As the tension settles into a fragile silence, one thing becomes certain. The Tomodachi game has entered a new phase. Not survival, not strategy, control, and Yuuichi is slowly taking it. The balance shifts. After guiding the chaos in Chapter 35, Yuuichi stops reacting to the game and starts shaping it. Chapter 36 isn't loud. It's calculated. The group is emotionally exhausted. Trust is gone. Suspicion is normal. And that's exactly the environment Yuuichi thrives in. Shiho feels the shift. For the first time, she realizes something unsettling. Yuuichi isn't just surviving the game. He's comfortable in it. Shibe grows more unstable. Every move he makes feels like a mistake. The harder he tries to prove himself innocent, the more suspicious he becomes. Tenji notices Yuichi's subtle control over the situation. Small comments, slight redirections, strategic silence. It's manipulation without fingerprints. Meanwhile, the game introduces subtle pressure again. Reminders that deaths still exist, penalties still matter, and someone will pay the price. But here's the twist. Yuuichi doesn't look pressured. He looks prepared. Instead of defending himself, he begins laying groundwork for something bigger. He tests reactions. He pushes emotional buttons carefully, not to expose the traitor, but to expose everyone. Chapter 36 reveals a dangerous evolution. The Tomodachi game isn't just about winning anymore. It's about who can dominate psychologically. And for the first time, it feels like the game organizers are watching Yuuichi, not the other way around. The chapter ends with one chilling realization. Yuuichi may not just be playing the Tomodachi game. He might be rewriting it. Something changes in the atmosphere, not because of a new rule, not because of a punishment, but because everyone finally realizes who's in control. Chapter 37 quietly confirms what has been building for chapters. Yuuichi isn't reacting anymore. He's orchestrating. The group feels unstable. Conversations are shorter. Eye contact is avoided. Every word sounds calculated. No one speaks freely anymore. Shiho begins to see it clearly. The chaos didn't spiral naturally. It was guided, small nudges. Perfect timing. Emotional triggers placed exactly where they would cause maximum damage. Shibe feels cornered beyond repair. The pressure has reshaped him. He's no longer thinking clearly. He's surviving moment to moment. Tenji watches Yui carefully now, and for the first time, he feels threatened. Because Yuuichi isn't just manipulating emotions. He's predicting them. Meanwhile, the game tightens its structure. A subtle reminder that consequences are coming. That still exist. That someone must fall. But here's the terrifying part. Yuuichi looks calm, not desperate, not defensive. Calm. Chapter 37 reveals a chilling truth. The scariest player isn't the one who lies. It's the one who understands everyone's truth. Yuuichi begins setting up something larger. A move that won't just shift suspicion. It will flip the entire board. As the chapter closes, one realization sinks in. The Tomodachi game was designed to test friendship. But now, it's testing who can become the villain first. And Yuuichi looks ready. The trap finally begins to close. Chapter 38 doesn't explode with chaos. It tightens. Slowly, carefully. Yuichi's earlier moves start connecting. Small conversations, planted doubts, emotional pressure points. They weren't random. They were preparation. Shiho senses something is off. The situation feels controlled, but not by the game. By someone inside the group. Shibe is hanging by a thread. Every reaction now feels rehearsed, desperate. The more he tries to escape suspicion, the deeper he sinks into it. Tenji begins piecing things together. He realizes that the flow of blame has a pattern, and every path somehow avoids Yuuichi. That's when it becomes clear. This isn't survival anymore. It's design. Meanwhile, the Tomodachi game pushes subtle pressure again, reminding them that a decisive moment is approaching. A judgment. A consequence. Someone will be labeled the problem. And that's exactly what Yuuichi has been waiting for. Instead of defending himself, he prepares a reveal, not of a traitor, but of a weakness. Chapter 38 reveals something terrifying. Yuuichi doesn't just want to win. He wants control over how everyone else loses. The atmosphere shifts from confusion to inevitability. Because once the final accusation is made, it won't be emotional. It will be strategic. And the scariest part? Yuuichi already knows who will fall.